Hey, what's up guys? Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about what is potentially one of the most undervalued CSGO investments for 2021. As we move into a period where CSGO popularity starts to go back up again, this in my opinion could be one of the top investments to make, as we're going to see the growth go up pretty quickly in my opinion. There's a lot to like about this investment, and if you're looking to pick up some of this investment or potentially anything CSGO related, I've got a couple links in the description that help me out, but let's hop on into it. So what we're going to be talking about today is the Sticker 2 capsule. Now the Sticker 2 capsule is one of my favorite investments. I usually include it in one of my monthly investing guides within a couple months span, and it's one that honestly I really like moving forward. Now the main thing out of this that you're going to be going for is that crown foil, and that crown foil is not cheap. For one of these crown foils, you're going to be looking at roughly around $800 on the Steam market, or about $600-ish cash. Neither of those are completely cheap. These are a pretty expensive sticker, but that's the only main thing that you're going to be going for out of the Sticker 2 capsule, and honestly, you're not going to be making money with anything else. Now the Sticker 2 capsule itself is not too expensive, but it's definitely not cheap. On the Steam market, you can get it for between, if you're going to go without a buy order, probably around $18, but if you go with a buy order, about $16.50-ish should be a good price. And if you're looking to pay cash, like with one of the websites I have in the description, you're going to be looking at only about $13 to $14. So you're definitely going to be getting a discount if you're paying with cash. But either way, it's not a super expensive capsule for the potential that it has. The main nice thing about this one is you're going to be opening up a couple of these hoping you hit that crown foil. The crown foil is only a pink rarity, which is really good considering it's opening up like a pink from a case. You're not going to have too low of odds to get one, so it's actually going to have a chance at it, unlike a knife where an $800 knife is definitely a good knife, but your odds are super low to get that knife, whereas here you're paying a little bit more at the start. I mean, definitely not cheap, but your odds of getting that crown foil are not terrible either. If you remember one of my videos from a while ago, I analyzed every single thing you can open up in CSGO to see what was a good thing to open and what was not a good thing to open, and the Sticker 2 capsule was definitely ahead of the pack. It came in at about a 78% return on average, which is really good for those capsules, and we'll get to cases talking about that in just a second. But here, your odds of opening up a pink are about 2.7%. Now you do have two pinks in this, so your odds are about half of that, so about 1.35%. And then you're going to go ahead and multiply that by $800. That gives you your expected value of about $11.22, and the total expected value for this is $13.28. So the crown foil makes up about 80% of the total value. So if you're not hitting a crown foil here, there's really no chance at retaining any amount of money. That's the one downside, is everything's become so cheap in this. I mean, even your hollows, like your Let's Roll Ol hollow, is only $2. That's pretty much the cost of your key doubled. So you're not going to be in a good situation if you're not able to hit that crown foil, but I feel like that's pretty obvious. Now we talk a lot about the return percentage you're going to get, so we got to compare that to the cases you might be opening. Now the best case in CSGO to open is the CSGO Weapon Case 3. Its classifieds are just so expensive because they're used for trade up filler, as there's only one red outcome. This leads to a pretty decent return on investment because pinks are not too hard to get from a case compared to the reds or the knives. So for this, the best case to open in CSGO currently, just beating out the snakebite by a little bit, you've got about a 63.8% return on investment. Now that's the best for a case, but we go over to our capsule and we're at 78%. That's 15% more than your CSGO Weapon Case 3, and you still have that potential there for a super high hitter. That's the thing we saw with the best capsules to open video that I made, is that a lot of these ones had about a 90% return, but they really didn't have anything more than $2.50. So on average, everything was just slightly below what you were going to be paying. So you might open up this capsule, but you're on average, you're only going to get a 90-cent item or maybe a $1.20 item at the max. You're not going to be making much profit. There's not too much risk there, but there's also no reward. For me, this is why I feel like this sticker 2 is so versatile. It's got that really expensive item that's worth a lot, but at the same time, you still have decent odds of opening it. Your odds are not terribly low. They're above 1%, which is really good compared to some of the other high risk capsules and cases you open. 40 times your money is a lot of the capsule you're able to open before you have to hit one to break even. If you open up 40 of these and only hit one crown foil, you're still gonna be in the money. Now, I was holding off on making this video. I wanted to make this video a while ago because I feel like this capsule has a good future ahead of it. But I was holding off because this capsule moves in spikes. We see how the price shoots up very quickly and then falls back down again, shoots up very quickly and falls back down again. We had a shoot up in just about the earliest of June. The price went up to almost $33 per capsule on average, which is crazy high for this. Now the crown foil also went up a little bit, but that's not too important. But we really saw this price not steadying out too quickly. I mean, by the end of June, we were still sitting around that $19 mark, and honestly, it seemed a bit overpriced. Now, what has really surprised me is the price really hasn't gone down. Usually what we see is after those big spikes, this price continues to go down until about, a couple months at least. But here we saw the price pretty much stay stagnant, which is actually really good for the capsule. It means the demand is still there, which is something you really want in an investment like this. I honestly thought we were probably going to go down to around $13 to $14, which would still be a great increase considering it was sitting at around $10 before, but we really haven't gone below 16 bucks here, which is a huge increase. That's a 60% increase since before the hump to after the hump. So it makes me wonder what's going to happen next time when we see that huge rush. The last thing I want to talk about here is selling off. Now, selling off is always a huge important part of an investment. Here, looking at this, it makes so much sense to be able to sell at that peak and rebuy back in. Now, obviously, in theory, this is so easy. All you got to do is we just got to watch for when the price goes up significantly and then sell and then buy back in a month later. But it's not always that easy in practice. But I think this is one of the easiest items to do it with. Its peak is not just 1 hour or 1 day even. The peak can really be spread out over 3 days where you're going to be making a massive amount of profit. And that's something a lot of people overlook here is when it's time to sell, you would still have a couple days to get out. And even if you miss out on that first peak, it only went down about $5 the day after, which is a decent amount of your profit, don't get me wrong, but the opportunity is not lost just because you couldn't sell right at that peak. There's still a lot of money to be made. But that is really all I have for today, guys. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I personally have about 15 to 20 of these, and I think they're probably going to be doing very well over the next year. But as always, guys, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.